Hi, this is Hank Saya. Welcome to Advanced Wix Tips. In today's tip, we're going to create a Google Calendar with event registration. So to do that, we're going to look at the Google Calendar app that comes with Wix and compare that to an embedded calendar. We'll add the embedded calendar to the website, create a registration form using Google Forms, and then create a calendar event with registration. Okay, let's first take a look at the completed app. Now this is a website that we're building. This is for my cycling club, the Brandywine Bicycle Club. And we see here the home page. Now this is a work in process, so some of the pages we'll see are still under construction. But if we go over here to calendar, we're going to see the calendar that we're going to build. Now this is a nice control because we can flip through the months. We can switch to a weekly view here. We even have a list view that will show the agenda, all of the events in the list. Now if we flip back 2 months, here you can see 2 events. Now we'll go ahead and click on that. Now within the description of this event you can see hyperlinks. So we'll go ahead and click on the Register Now link, and this pulls up the Google form that we're going to build later in the session. So we can go ahead and enter our details here, and we'll just put in some fictitious information and go ahead and submit the form. Now this will update in a spreadsheet that we'll see later. But this gives you a little tour of what we're going to build. Now let's take a look at how we built this app. Okay, so let's first take a look at the differences between using the embedded Wix calendar app for Google and another option which I'm going to show you instead. So if we go to the app market and pull up the Google event calendar and add that to site, we can see the tool that's offered here. Now all we need to do to enable it is go in and connect it to our Google account. So we'll go ahead and enable that, and now once we publish it, we'll go ahead and publish. Then the calendar will be live, and if we come over here and take a look at that, we can see the differences between this initial calendar, which we did using a different technique, and the calendar app that we just added. Now notice, and this is why I'm going to show you the alternate technique. So we do have some controls to move through the months, but notice we can't switch to a weekly or agenda view. And also here we do, it's not quite so attractive in terms of popping up the box. We do have our links, which is nice. We're going to show you how to build those later. But overall, if we look at this specific calendar versus the more robust version, clearly the the embedded app is just not as robust or flexible. So next, let's look at how to add the this calendar that we're looking at here to our website. So first, we'll open up our calendar in Google. So here's the calendar we were just looking at, and you can see the 2 events that were on the calendar. And we're going to go over to Settings, which is the tool icon over here, and we're going to open up the Settings menu for this calendar. And you can see all of the properties of the calendar that we might want to set. And if we click over here to Calendars view, we can select the calendar, in this case the Brandywine Bicycle Club, and we can change some of the key properties. Now one of the most important ones that you're going to need to set is the Share Calendar option. And in order for this to be embedded on your website and for folks to work with it, you're going to need to go ahead and select the Make This Calendar Public option, as I have here. So once we do that, now you can set any notifications that you might want on the calendar as well for when new events are added or changed, etc. But we're going to go back to calendar details. Now, another thing that you might want to do is change some of the sizing, coloring, and other options. So notice right here in the middle of the screen, we've got the ability to make those changes. So, for example, we can change the background color. So here it'll change the title bar. Honestly, I haven't figured out how to change the foreground. Not sure if that's available. We'll go ahead and put a border on it as well. Some other things we might want to do in this case, because I'm going to embed it on the website, I'm going to turn off the list of calendars. And I'm also going to change the width of the calendar to make it a little bigger. And in my case, because there might be multiple events on a single day, I'm going to change the height of the calendar so it stretches it out and we've got a little bit more room in there. Now, the most important thing that we're going to do is we're going to select all of the HTML code that's in here and copy that code. Okay, now that we've copied the embedded code from our Google Calendar, we need to add it to the website. So we're going to go to the App Market, and we're going to choose the HTML iframe embed tool, and we'll go ahead and add that to our site. Now let's maybe stretch this out so we're in the dimensions of our calendar. And if we click on enter the website address, we're actually going to switch to code, and we'll right mouse click and paste the code that we copied in the previous step into our calendar. When we click update, now notice that the calendar appears in our website. And we can further stretch to get the proper dimensions that we want for our calendar. We'll work it to get the full calendar in so that we lose our scroll bars on the left and right, and we can move it around to get it properly centered on our website. And now we have fully embedded the calendar in the website, and we can go ahead and publish our website, and the calendar is now live. And notice that we also have our events that we've previously added to our Google Calendar showing up on the website. Okay, next we will build our registration form. So I'm doing that in Google Forms, and I'll go ahead and start a blank form, and we'll call it group registration to register for group ride events. Now naturally you'll build a more robust form than I'm doing here, but this will give you an idea of how we go about doing this. So in this case, the member will enter their name, and we're going to make that a required field. Next we'll have them enter their email address, and that will also be a required field. Now in this case we're also going to have a data validation, and we'll set that to a text validation that contains an email address. And lastly, we'll ask them for their phone number, and in this case we'll leave it as a text field that's not required. Now there's two things we need to do in order to make this a workable form. So we're going to go over here to the More icon and add collaborators. Now in order for any of our members to work with us on the web, we'll need to make it set to a public form. That's very important. And we'll go ahead and click done. Now the next thing we'll do is on the send icon here, we're going to switch to a link and copy this link. Now if we wanted to embed this form in a website, we can click the icon here. We can also email the form, but in this case we're going to create and copy that as a link, and we're going to work with that in our calendar event, which is the next section. Okay, so next we'll open our Google Calendar and create an event. So we'll call this the Ice Cream Sunday Ride, and we'll edit the details. And at this point we'll create the event with all of the parameters that we might have here. So this is where we're going to start at Brewster's Ice Cream. And we can put in colors, and again, a very important key is to make this public, very important. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to enter some code that will create a link within the description. Now it's important we can have whatever details we want in here as well. So this ride is for casual riders with 2 stops, whatever details we want in the ride. Now here we're going to paste in the hyperlink that we copied in the previous step. So we'll go ahead and paste that within our form, and notice we've got a description in here. So we will enter register now in the text area, and that will become our hyperlink. So at this point we can save the ride, and you can see if we click on it, we've got all of our details in here, and we're going to go ahead in a second and look at how this will show up on our calendar. Okay, so if we go back to our website and open our calendar, notice the event has been automatically added to the calendar. And if we click on the event, we see the Register Now button that we just added, the hyperlink. And if we open that hyperlink, it will open our form, and we can submit our answers to go ahead and register for this event. Okay, after our members have completed the registration, we can go to Google Drive or Google Forms and open up our form. And notice now that we've got some responses. So we can click on the Responses tab here, and we have some summarized information. We also see the individual information as well. And if we click on the More icon here, notice that we have the option to select a response destination. And in this case, we can create a spreadsheet that will track our answers. So we'll go ahead and click Create, and it links the spreadsheet, and now we'll see them in a tabular form. And of course we can email this. We can also make this, put this in a shared folder so that anybody else can get access to this by making it public. There are a lot of options in terms of sharing this information. Okay, just a couple of tips here. First of all, you're going to have lots of events building over time, so you might want to create a separate folder on your Google Drive to store those forms and response spreadsheets. The nice thing with that is that you can also share that folder so that the different folks in your organization that work with those events can have access to it. And again, because you will over time build up lots of events, you might want to name the registration form with the specific event name and date, and that way you could just keep copying the registration form and pasting the original the appropriate one into the meeting. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope this was helpful. Just so you have the that key little bit of HTML code in here. You can see that at the top of the screen. And if you'd like to visit our website, again, it's the Brandywine Bicycle Club. This video is being produced at the sort of while we're in those last stages of getting this website live. So if you happen to watch that over the next couple of weeks, then the website is the temporary Wix website. Once we port over our domain name and make that website fully live, the website down here at the bottom is how you can visit our website. So again, thank you for watching. I hope this has been useful, and happy website building on Wix.